everyone! So today I want to make a video about how I basically became an au pair in Spain, because since I posted my big announcement video, everyone had been kind of asking me, how did you get connected with this family? How did you become an au pair? Things like that. So I thought I would make this super quick video just basically about like the basic intro level things about how I became an au pair. So the first thing I did was actually Google free ways to travel the world, and that's how I kind of figured out what an au pair was and what their job was. I thought it was pronounced AU pair. I was like, Mom, what's an AU pair? And she's like, are you talking about an au pair? Because it's a nanny like overseas. And then from that, basically I realized that this job would be right up my alley because I love kids and I love to travel, and it all kind of just worked out from there. So I would say if you don't have a passion for kids, I wouldn't try to do this job because you'll be spending the whole summer or possibly like years with the family. So don't get into it for the wrong reasons, I guess. Secondly was I found this website called Au Pair World, but before I found that super awesome website, there was all these other weird websites that were like, pay me $400 and we'll connect you to a family overseas and things like that. And that just seemed like a scam and just super creepy. So I would not do anything like that. But the website that I found, I didn't have to pay because I was like an au pair seeking a host family, but the host families pay. And then through the website, you can like do background checks and get a whole bunch of information about the family. You get bios, things like that. You kind of apply to be an au pair like you would any kind of job. You put in like what your qualifications are, what experience you've had, what you're interested in a family, where you want to be, places you want to be around, so like big city, small city, medium-sized city, that kind of thing. And then they connect you. You're gonna have like over 100 matches, but you go through and individually like read each family's bio, and from that you can see, oh wow, I really like this family, I really connect with them. And what I would do was send them like a quick message and say, hey, I looked at your profile, I think we're a match, let me know if you think we're a match as well. And then from that, they'll look at your profile and then say, oh yeah, like I think you're a match, or they'll respond with, thank you so much for reaching out, but I don't think we're a match, stuff like that. I've obviously gotten like both sides since I was applying, but I applied to families like all over the world. I did Australia, Italy, England, Greece, Spain. And then after I did that, I connected with them like via Skype. So I think I had like 2 Skype calls from a family in Italy, 2 Skype calls from Spain, 1 from Australia, 1 from England. And then you can decide from there, when I talked to them, they seemed really friendly, I want to go spend the summer with them. Or like when I talked to them, I felt like we didn't connect as much. And then that would be like a good way for you to feel out, maybe this isn't the family I should spend the summer with. And then if you interview with that many families, the ball's kind of in your court and you get to decide like, yeah, I want this family over this family or something like that. It's like really, really a cool way to connect with people from like another place. Also, when you go onto the website, they're gonna have country information sheets. So you like click on the country you want and it's gonna tell you like all the information they have about that country. So it'll tell you how much you're gonna make a month, what's like culturally acceptable, what times you might get off. Like in Spain, they have like a midday break, so I might have some time in the midday to like relax and have some time to myself. Where like in England, you're not gonna have that. So you can kind of read up on the culture of each place and then decide like, oh yeah, this seems more up like my style, or this seems like a little bit too high paced for me, things like that. You'll also be able to say like, I do want to clean, or I speak another language, or all these things, so that they can kind of see, oh well, if I want someone to clean but you put on your profile you're not willing to clean, then we're not going to be a match. So that's kind of why they do the country info sheets and your criteria kind of what you want. 2 like really common, I think, misconceptions about being an au pair is like, 1, you have to be a girl, which isn't the case at all. Like a lot of families on the Au Pair World website will say they don't have any preference between female or male. But some families obviously will say, yes, we just want a female au pair. So it just kind of depends. I know like when I was looking for families in Italy, they had a lot of people that said they wouldn't care on gender, but then like more in Spain and England, a lot of them said that they wanted women. So I think it just depends on the culture of the area. Another misconception is that you have to speak the language of the place you're going, which is like totally wrong as well. Like you can, like me, obviously my mom's from Spanish. My mom's from Cuba. So me and my sister like speak Spanish conversationally, but you don't have to have that at all. Like I know the family that I was with, they actually want me to speak English so that their kids can learn English and that they can brush up better on their English. So it just really depends on what they're looking for. Like I know if I was going to work in Italy, like I wouldn't speak Italian. So the families that I applied for in Italy were people that said they didn't have a problem with me not being able to speak Italian. So when you're looking on the profile, just make sure like the language barrier thing isn't there. Another misconception I think is people think you don't get paid, but you actually do get paid. You get like a monthly allowance, and mind you, it's not like that much because you're living free, like, and you're eating free and you're getting to go places with the family, but you still get paid, and that's like really cool to be able to go somewhere and get paid to travel there. My last like piece of advice is if you're actually interested in being an au pair and you go through Au Pair World, which I'll put the link for Au Pair World in the description, just ask as many questions as possible. Learn as much information about the country you want to visit, and when you're Skyping with families, ask them so many questions, because if you feel uncomfortable already to ask a family questions, you probably don't want to live with them for the whole summer. You want to make a connection, and you're going to be able to feel comfortable and open and honest with the family you're with. And I know my host family, they're so amazing and so sweet, and I talk to them like daily, and they ask me questions about my life. I ask them questions about my expectations in Spain, things like that. And that's how you really just like solidify that bond and get closer. So if you want to be an au pair, go through Au Pair World, make sure you're safe about it, look into the family, find them on Facebook, things like that. Skype with as many families as possible so you can get your pick on where you want to go, and then just ask questions and just be open and honest with the family that you end up with so that you can get there and the expectations are the same. You don't want to get to Spain and get to Italy or Australia or England or wherever, and you get there and you're like, oh, where's my room? And they're like, oh, you're sharing a room with the kid. And then you're like, oh, I thought I was getting like my own room and my own bathroom. That was my expectations. So make sure you understand those things before you get into it. And Au Pair World has like a list of questions that you need to make sure you answer with your family before. So they like basically sketch a lot of that out for you so you don't have to worry about it as much. But you still need to be aware and making sure that you're doing whatever you can to like get as much information about each other as possible. So I feel like that's all I have for how I became an au pair. If you have any questions, reach out, and thanks for watching.